Earnest money, also known as a good faith deposit, is a sum of money provided by a buyer to a seller as a demonstration of the buyer's serious intent to purchase a property or enter into a contract. It serves as a form of security and commitment, indicating that the buyer is willing to proceed with the transaction in good faith. Key points about earnest money include: 1. Purpose. Earnest money demonstrates the buyer's commitment to the transaction and provides assurance to the seller that the buyer is serious about purchasing the property. It is intended to deter frivolous offers and protect the seller from the risk of the buyer backing out of the deal without valid reason. 2. Amount. The amount of earnest money can vary depending on factors such as the value of the property, local market customs, and negotiations between the buyer and seller. It is typically expressed as a percentage of the purchase price, such as 1 to 3%. 3. Deposit. Earnest money is typically deposited into an escrow account or held by a third-party intermediary, such as a real estate brokerage or attorney, until the closing of the transaction. The funds are held in trust and released according to the terms of the purchase agreement. 4. Contingencies. Earnest money may be subject to certain contingencies outlined in the purchase agreement, such as the buyer obtaining financing, conducting inspections, or selling their existing property. If these contingencies are not met, the buyer may be entitled to a refund of the earnest money. 5. Forfeiture. In some cases, if the buyer fails to fulfill their obligations under the purchase agreement, such as backing out of the deal without valid reason, the seller may be entitled to keep the earnest money as liquidated damages. However, the specific terms regarding forfeiture of earnest money should be clearly outlined in the purchase agreement. 6. Application to purchase. Earnest money is typically applied towards the buyer's down payment or closing costs at the time of closing. It reduces the amount of funds the buyer needs to bring to the closing table and is credited towards the purchase price of the property. Overall, earnest money serves as a financial commitment and demonstrates the buyer's seriousness in a real estate transaction. It provides assurance to the seller and helps facilitate smooth and orderly completion of the sale process.